now. Looks like we are getting into it properly.
Yep.
All right, let's see how David does coming out of the start.
Oh man, I cannot
That's,
see more than like 10 feet in front of him on this. Ooh, baby.
yeah. At least we know the track's well enough to keep track of it.
Yeah.
That pause is going to be 15 seconds while we sync up the streams, hopefully. Nope, that was just a frame drop. We will be getting a bit of a pause to sync that up, though. And due to some technical difficulties, we're going to be streaming with LightningPirate's audio through this entire match. Ooh, we're getting some drops out of David.
Yeah.
But it looks like they are stream side and not his. Not on his end. At least I hope. This one looks like it's the sync pause. Yeah, this one's syncing up.
Looks like he's off to a pretty fast start.
Yeah, they are.
This
They're
was the
comparable.
first map he did against Nacho, and it was extremely close. I think it was like a 0.4 second difference between the two.
On the full track, I think it was a little bigger. I think it was bigger than that.
No, it was
But
less
they
than
were...
a second.
Okay. I might be misremembering. I've cast quite a few matches so far.
Yeah, I think it might have even been less than a second.
Yeah.
And ooh, baby, looking at that right side of the screen does not make me comfortable.
No. It's just a reality of not as high-end hardware.
Yep.
But that was a pretty close first lap. Looks like about 1 1/3 seconds over the course of a minute 20.
Yeah.
This is looking very competitive. One mistake out of either player could decide it.
Mm-hmm.
They are on much different boost timings, which means one of them, I believe Lightning might underheat slightly, unless he does exactly what he's doing now. Okay, boosting along that belt, like Lightning Pirate just did, is actually slower, because that conveyor belt speeds you up as you drive along it. Oh, and Lightning Pirate, yep. This game does have many spots in it that can simply kill you if you drive over them the wrong way. Most of them, the wrong way is driving while boosting. It's programmed in 1999. Collision detection is a little bit sketchy.
Yes, I've run into many of those, especially when sometimes it's if you drive slightly to the left, they're perfectly fine. When you drive slightly to the right and you die.
Yep. 1:15.8 out of David. That's not a half bad time. And a 1:20 from
5 seconds ahead. Wow.
Yeah, we're looking at about a 7-second net difference between the two laps. Whew.
Unfortunately, I can't really see what David is doing very well.
Yeah, and it's hardware. It's unfortunate, but something we got to deal with.
Yeah.
But he's playing very well.
Yeah.
It appears that that frame dropping issue is only on stream. So I've got some high hopes for gameplay out of him. So at least I hope he's not hitching that badly.
Yeah. If not, what a champion.
I know.
Playing with blindfolds on.
I submitted that as a donation incentive when I tried to get into SGDQ. But coming down to it, it looks like David's going to take this first one, but this is a good sign for this match.
Yeah.
I was within 6 seconds, or slightly outside of 6 seconds.
It looks like the next ones will probably come quite likely on track selection.
Yes, this is going to be a very draft phase centric match, which would quite possibly wind up in Lightning's favor.
Yeah. Can't go out a 6-second difference.
Yeah. Abyss and Executioner have been globally banned from David.
Okay.
Not super surprising.
Banned Ben Quadranaros for the next match.
Yep.
And
Boon to Training and Mount Gaza Speedway. I like those bands out of Lightning. He has done his research.
So is David known mostly for the early tracks? Is that what he was good at?
He's good at all of them. Those two are just the
Mhm.
ones that are he is head and shoulders above almost everybody else on the planet.
Okay.
And granted, head and shoulders on those tracks means like a third of a second. But
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that makes it even harder. They're so short
yeah,
and so simple that it's really
to
just
put it in
grinding really
yeah,
hard for those small.
to put it in perspective for any viewers who aren't familiar, I've been grinding Boom to Training course since the start of February, just focusing very heavily on that course. I still can't save another half a second over where I am.
All right, and Dobie Mountain Run is banned for the next match, and we're going to Barrio Coast.
All right.
This is a map I'm not as familiar with. I think I've only seen, of the matches I've seen it once, and that was
Yes.
the Nacho versus Lightning Pirate. I believe
Baru.
Nacho picked it that time.
Yes, Baru Coast is an interesting course. It is the easiest of the Barunda tracks. Out of all four Barunda tracks, it is by far the easiest. That doesn't mean it's easy, however. It has a fairly tricky hairpin section, a little bit of not really a skip, but a shortcut you can take, and is a segment where you can do some very interesting long boosts with most characters. They are just far easier with Bullseye. And it looks like we're going to be getting a Bullseye mirror. Yes. Because you can hold some very cool long boosts with Ben, Bowles, and Mars. But they are really tricky and they don't have much margin for error. And in a match like this one, that margin for error is even smaller.
Yeah, it's better to go for consistency than the
Yes.
theoretical maximum, unless you're very, very, very confident.
Which, I mean, David's got grounds to be.
And we're off.
Yep. Now, Bullseye does come with his own set of challenges. He is the most fragile pod in the game. People like to say his pod was constructed with glass bones and paper skin. And Lightning is opting not to do the corner jump.
You can bounce off of that rock and skip a bit of track if you're going down.
Yes. Oof, we're getting some major droppage from David, but... and that pause is the sinking pause.
Looks like
And they are dead even.
I think
This
Lightning
hairpin
might
is
be a little ahead.
Maybe. This hairpin is the make or break, though. And they're doing the exact same things.
Actually, it looked like Lightning turned his acceleration off more.
Yes. Oh, and he catches the edge there. That's unfortunate. However, where David is now is actually the spot that kills people the most often on this track. Is this whole segment. It's very easy to hold a boost too long and clip where David just scraped the wall a bit. If he'd gotten a little less lucky, that would have evened things out entirely. This is not out of reach for Lightning, though.
Mm-hmm.
A death on Bullseye does not mean too much in most cases, since his acceleration is so high. And his heat rate is so high, so more of his deaths are going to be higher heat, which costs a lot less time than dying fresh.
Ooh.
And David died. Yeah, can't really tell where.
Yeah, it looks like right, kind of near the starting line.
Yeah, not totally sure what he could have clipped on there. And Lightning did go for it this time.
Yeah, Lightning's a couple seconds ahead now.
Yeah. Oh, I also need to.
Another thing I was going to say just before David went and died is, luckily for even if you take damage and don't die on Ben, it usually only takes 1 or 2 seconds to repair back to near full.
Yes.
And then you accelerate back to full speed very quickly.
Now, That was a cleaner hairpin segment out of Lightning. He did not die coming through the gap. Oh, and
Ooh.
David clips that wall too. That's a rough spot. It was also a mid-heat death, so it did cost him a little bit more than the lower end.
So explain dying on high versus low heat to me.
So if you die on low heat, it basically increases the downtime between your boosts. Because normally when you're on low heat, you want to start a boost so you're not sitting on 0 heat.
Mm-hmm.
For those in chat, boosting increases your heat. If you hit the very cap of your heat, you catch fire and you have to put it out.
That would be that right bar on the edge, right by the speed
Speedometer. Yep, speedometer.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yes. Which measures arbitrary speed units. We got tired of arguing over what it was.
It's parsecs.
No, it's not. But if you die on high heat, that basically cuts your cooling time, and you can immediately boost again, depending on where you are. So you can mitigate that time loss to an extent.
Yeah, and after that early death in lap 1, I believe,
Yes.
Lightning has looked very good on this track.
I
guess that's why he picked it.
Yeah, as you said, this one comes down very heavily to track selections. And I do believe... Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
It appears to me... Yeah, it appears to me that David is the better Ben. Lightning's probably the stronger Bullseye.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small sample size, but there's a lot of gameplay of both of these players that I've seen. And that's the pattern I've encountered over time.
Yeah.
4:19. With a death, that's a very respectable time. That would have been a 4:15.
Yeah. And David's coming up with the dies across the finish line, it looks like.
It can be faster.
Yeah. All right, so 419 to 434, and that brings us to even. So
I figured going into this that this could be a very tight one.
LightningPirate bringing us the goods 2 times in a row.
He has really leveled up from the last time I've seen him play. Between this match and the last one.
Yeah.
Is so much better than the last multiplayer session I saw him in.
Where Davey takes us. I wonder if he'll ban a secondary... Oh, Bullseye ban. All right, so...
Okay. Yep, not surprising.
Yep. We are probably going to see Ben Quadranaros from both players then.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised to see him taking us to something like a Vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
I could see a Gauntlet. Like I could just see any of these tracks with longer straightaways where Davey's going to be better at maintaining his boost patterns.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
We seem to be having some Discord server troubles at the moment.
Yeah. Let's try and figure out where the temporary track ban is going to be.
Beato's Wild Ride has been banned. It's an interesting choice. I do like limiting the bend tracks that are all about boosting, which that one is, because that one's very reliant on tight corner boosting through the cave shortcut. See, now we're just waiting on the track selection from David. I'm trying to figure out where I'd take him.
Yeah, kind of looks like
I like the idea. Like I've been saying, I like an Uvu track here.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he did ban Executioner.
It kind of looks like Lightning has been trying to avoid Ben Quadranaros entirely, so he hasn't been practicing those first tracks as much. Because most people, after the initial thing... Oh, we're going to Bulbas.
So Bulba's legacy with Ben. That is a very nice pick from David. It's an incredibly difficult track to play Ben on if you haven't practiced him a lot. So I could see.
I'm not familiar with very well.
Yeah. It has multiple track splits, and we are also not allowing skips, so there's an extra bend that a lot of players don't actually practice the slide for.
Yeah, I remember trying to look up speed runs or runs for this to try and learn it, and all of them had skips, so I just avoided this track entirely.
This is arguably the easiest skip in the game. The players are discussing.
No skip is allowed.
Yeah, the players are discussing whether they want to do it with each other. The skip has been ruled out by Lightning. We do have a clause within the rule set for this tournament that if both players want to do skips, they can. If both players want to agree to, say, have a blanket Ben ban through a set, they can. There's a pretty open gentleman's clause within our rule set.
You thought wrong, Ever Alert. It's now.
Yeah.
The future is today.
But this is a long, long time ago in a galaxy far away.
I mean, 20 years is a long, long time ago. Now,
yeah.
We're now.
All right, we're going full Spaceballs now. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
All right, and we're getting into it. Lightning missing the start boost. That is uncharacteristic. That's only characteristic of you, Mr. Liquid.
Yeah, it's my brand.
Yeah. All right, looks like there was a pretty major desync coming up.
Yeah.
Or coming out of that, which, oh well. And Lightning is looking decently clean through that first segment, and then he clips that spot in the ground.
Yeah.
That is one of many spots to do that. And this bend that LightningPirate is on now is the one that gets skipped out of, because you can actually just ride across the cliff from start to finish on that one.
Yeah, and unfortunately, with laps only 45 seconds, a single death means a lot.
Yes. Now, unfortunately,
he's learned now, so he doesn't hit that again.
Yeah. And it's a hard one to avoid.
Yeah. And now we're getting David sort of in another death.
Alright, where are we with David? Okay, so David's stream has been frozen pretty badly. We're working on it.
Oh,
there we go, now it's back.
Alright. Looking like a solid 10-second lead.
Yeah, roundabout. Oh, he falls off.
Oop, can't climb back up.
Nope.
Is that climb even possible?
Oh, and he dies on that. I don't know if that climb is possible. I've never had to go for it.
Looks like it might have been possible if you, react right away.
Yeah, but that's a fast reaction. Alright, so no way to tell.
No way to tell because we can't see. Ooh, and another death.
Oh, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, Lightning does not look very practiced on this track. Looks like he's just playing off of
game knowledge in general.
Yeah.
Oh, that was close. He almost fell down himself.
Alright, and then 216.
And a 212 from David.
Ooh.
I'm actually not sure. I'm not incredibly familiar with that track myself. I haven't played it much.
Mm-hmm. And Lightning bans Ben for the next track. Not surprising.
Yep. Alright, we are lowering David's bitrate even further to try to manage this freezing.
How low can we go?
Can you go down low? All right, but that was it. We are at 2-1 lead for David. David won with a 2-12. I do not know anything beyond the 2-12, but Lightning had a 2-16-85. From what we did see, that was a rough race from both players.
Yeah. Pretty grungy there. Fortunately,
Little bit,
with
yeah.
that track, even if both players are messing up, it doesn't get as exciting as, say, the Abyss from yesterday.
Yeah, that was insane.
Everything went wrong for everybody.
Yeah.
Which I think is basically the MO of that track.
Yes, there's a reason Abyss has been one of the most popular bands in the tournament. Well, a little bit of a comment on chat. At least, even if people don't look fondly on episode 1, at least it wasn't episode 2.
I hate sand. It's so sandy. But you are not Sandy, and that is why I love you.
That's basically what their romance was.
At least episode 2 has the battle scenes, but what's his name? The Spike Horn dude is way cooler than
Darth Maul's awesome.
Alright, so Davey testing out his stream looks like.
Yep, we're dropping a bit still.
Yeah. I think no way gonna be avoiding it.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
You know, have you ever thought that Qui-Gon Jinn was played by the guy from Taken, right?
Yeah, Liam Neeson.
Have you ever thought that the Taken movies were karma for him for having stolen Anakin from his mom?
When did the first Taken come out?
I don't know. Well after that, though.
Oh yeah, the first Taken was 2009.
Look, man, she technically said yes, but when you look at the power differential between a Jedi and Anakin's mom, it's a solid power differential, which makes consent troubling at the least.
Alright, we're going back on topic. Fire Mountain Rally has been banned, and Grabvine Gateway has been selected.
Ooh, going for that Ben again.
Well, yeah, Ben has been banned. We're going Bullseye.
Keep messing them up. They both start with B.
Yeah, and then you have to add Bulbs to the mix.
The answer, Evalert, is the judge.
Alright, well, the countdown has been given. We're getting back into the race, and we are getting off that topic before we stray too far from God's light. So this track is Baru Coast, but harder with lower visibility.
And more vegetables.
Yes. You experienced this track in tournament. Why don't you tell us about it?
Has a lot of turns. You have to... The problem is, I didn't know what I was doing, so, yeah. It's also very long. You have to have good endurance, and there's a lot of turns all the time. So you do have to practice this a lot to really get clean.
Yes, it is very difficult.
You said that a lot of people think this is the hardest track in the game?
Yes, it is always brought up in those discussions.
And he takes the, ooh, does not take it cleanly, but still saves time.
Yep. Like, at worst, you break even there unless you die.
Yeah.
And Lightning's bouncing off the walls a little bit, but it's overall not too bad.
Yep, for now. Unfortunately, if he doesn't clean that up by lap 2, it will add up, and he'll have to slow down for repairs by lap 3, I think.
Yeah.
But it's quite likely that he will die before that time, so it won't matter by then. And if you just put some vaporwave music over that, over this bit rate, you've got yourself a solid acid game.
A little bit, yeah.
Ooh, and he gets through that part pretty cleanly.
Oh, and then David clips the wall.
Yeah.
Like we said, this track is very, very difficult. That swamp is rough.
Yeah. Ooh, and wow. I've never seen someone die there.
Same, actually.
That is rough luck. Looks like he got kind of bounced. And then just couldn't turn away in time.
Alright, let's see how they do. Let's see how they both do on this shortcut coming through on lap 2. Lightning is just choosing not to go for it. And same with David.
Know what the shortcut is, honestly.
It's a very hard turn, and David drives straight into a wall there.
Yeah. And again.
Yeah. Oh, LightningPirate stays clean.
Yeah. This could be a pretty commanding win by him.
Let's see how he does in the swamp.
Ooh, David.
Oh, and David
again.
loses an engine. And LightningPirate hitting a root. As everyone in chat can see, this is a very, very hard track.
It's interesting. They're kind of dying at all the points I wouldn't expect them to be dying at, too.
Yeah. And every single part of this track has the potential to kill you.
Yep. Luckily,
Everything
I don't think it
has
has
no
any
repair.
like insta-kill boost spots.
Not that I'm aware of. However, it's not a track I'm very practiced on.
Yeah, a couple times I run it, I didn't feel any. I feel like I would have noticed. Or maybe there are, and they just are in spots where you can't boost because you're too busy turning.
Quite possible. Lightning seems to not know you can hold that boost. That, or he's just choosing not to go for it, because it is a tricky hold.
And once again, no shortcut.
Yep.
From what I heard, right, the shortcut is pretty difficult to do cleanly and only saves you a couple seconds, right?
Yes, it is very difficult to do cleanly. I can get it maybe 1 in 4 attempts without losing speed. Or without losing too much speed. Because you have to turn... It's a more than 90-degree turn. At speed.
And here we have Davey unfreezing.
Yes. And we are working on a hardware fix for that.
Oh yeah, and Lightning coming out very good that lap. I think he hasn't even taken any damage so far. Maybe some like right at the beginning, but not since the turning rocks. And 5 minutes, almost exactly. That's a very pleasant number to look at. I think it's...
Yeah, that's a palindrome.
Yeah.
Alright, excuse me for just a moment. We're going to be attempting a couple of fixes for David's frame hitching.
The answer is it's hard to tell what the final track will be, Dark Spartan. We've got This is actually a best of 9, so we've got a few more to go.
Yep.
And Bullseye Ban once again out of Davey. And I'm going to mute myself for a second to eat a little bit more of this delicious bibimbap.
All right, then. Sorry, there will be some dead air here while we fix this. So Inferno has been the track ban from Lightning. That's actually interesting. It is still a Barunda track.
Mm-hmm. So I am kind of hoping that we get one of the Uvu tracks today. Aqualaris.
Aqualaris Classic or...
Classic, yeah.
Okay. This track is a very fun one for Ben.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're just going to have to suffer through some of the frame pitching from David's side.
Yeah.
We're going to be attempting to fix it for next match. But we'll make it work. Currently seems to be some network difficulties. So who knows, it might come back up. So we're getting a Ben mirror on Aqualaris Classic. This is a strong map for Ben. I don't know too much about David or LightningPirate's times on here. But I don't doubt that they can both put out something very solid here.
Yeah, it looked like LightningPirate's best lap was like a 52, which I think is pretty solid.
Yeah, that's better than my best lap. I'm at a low 53.
Mm-hmm.
And he missed the start boost again. And he opts to go with a very weird weave through the start segment. Going left through both of them is much easier. And arguably much safer.
Interesting. He did not... You can hold your boost through almost like the second half of that tunnel up into that tunnel entrance.
Yes.
And he did not do that at all.
Yeah. He might have been opting to do what Lightning's doing here and do the long boost through that ramp section. And then cool down on this flat, or not, and boost up this tunnel. Because optimally, you go 2 boosts up that tunnel, and then you're clean through this figure 8, and then boost through the entire start line segment. This is going to be a 55 for Lightning. Yeah, that's a really weird line to opt for from Lightning. Usually it's start left, go right around the last one, and then go straight through. His boost timings are very unorthodox, and boosting across that segment without tilting is really ballsy. It does have a random kill segment about 2/3 through.
And takes the right side of the ramp that time.
Okay. but it looks like it is a slight lead for David. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see their times on getting over this flat. 137. Okay, yeah.
The difficult thing is I don't really expect either of them to die, so that makes it much more difficult to make up time.
Yes.
You have to make it up entirely by having just better boosts than the other. And that lap was neck and neck. Actually,
About a tenth of a second for Lightning.
yeah.
This is very close.
Yeah.
It does still look like a very slight lead for David.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's probably looks like I can't even tell honestly. It looks like David might be about half a second ahead.
Something like that. It's tricky.
Yeah.
It literally all comes down to this figure eight.
Oh man, imagine losing because you missed the start boost.
That might have been the margin.
Yeah.
241.86 and a 242.46.
I can't read those.
241.064 and 242.46. That was 1.4 seconds across. 1.4 seconds difference.
Yeah. Lightning didn't hold some of the boosts nearly as long as he could. I think that was just the difference.
The start boost and being a little off on some of the mid-race boosts.
Yeah. Ben Ban again.
Not surprising.
Nope. So what other bullseye tracks could he pull out?
Oof. This is where it starts to get tricky. Adobe Mountain Run, maybe. Though we saw how that worked for me against Mikey.
Yeah, it might be coming down to just how
Inferno
good
is an option.
their Mahonix or Bulls is now. So we'll see. They've neither of them had a reason to pull them out.
Yeah, Death Row's Revenge has been banned.
Okay.
It's an interesting choice. That's a bend track. So a Bowls or a Mahonix still would have been very good there. Fire Mountain Rally is still up. I forgot that was available.
Yeah, we're going to Fire Mountain, it looks like.
That is kind of the last true Ben. Or not true bullseye stage. Now I'm doing it.
Yeah. You're welcome.
It's kind of
for the
that.
train virus.
Yeah. This is one of the last two true bullseye stages. Bunta Classic is still a decent option for him. Now, I believe this is either the first or second Fire Mountain Rally we've had of the tournament. It's a pretty popular ban, and it's not a popular pick just because of how difficult it is. When those discussions of most difficult tracks come in, it's always a discussion between Grabvine Gateway, Fire Mountain Rally, Abyss, and Bunta Classic. Those are the most common 4 suggestions. There's room for a couple others in that talk, but...
Yes, this is a best of 9. And Mars Guo from Davey.
That is...
Or, is he changing it?
Yeah, he thought better of this. Oh, we're frozen on the character select. And to address something coming in from chat with jokes about this being 5 races in and not over, that's a reality of the early stages of a tournament like this. This part of the bracket, or this part of the event, is going to have lopsided matches while we seed to avoid them later. So this Swiss bracket is there specifically to get these super lopsided ones out of the way in a lower pressure environment.
Yeah.
And as we get farther and farther in, we'll be getting more and more matches like this.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing for LightningPirate is he's been winning every time he's managed to select a track, but Davey's been winning every time that he's selected. So it might come down to just David won the first track.
Yes.
So,
well, we did see with both the first track and that Aqualeris Classic that LightningPirate can compete. LightningPirate can compete on some of David's picks. We're also running into a minor Discord difficulty. We will be there. We will be on board in just a moment.
Discord is not playing nice.
All right. Okay. Oh, wait. We are still hitting the same hitch. Okay, nope. Looks like we might be getting in. Sorry, this is being very weird on a server side. But the players have been given the countdown, and hopefully everything worked. Alright, yes, they're going in. Sorry about that. Discord decided it didn't want to be a chat service for a couple minutes there. So, Fire Mountain Rally Fire Mountain Rally goes kind of reverse of Grabvine Gateway. That one starts with the kind of sandy hairpin section. This one ends with it. And this one starts with a very tricky, muddy kind of hairpin thing. You're kind of running along an old pyroclastic flow trail. And
that's your vocab word.
David Yep. Look it up, kids. But it's Fire Mountain Rally. You're driving through a volcano.
I always hear Fire Mountain Rally, and I always think of Inferno instead. I always must mix them up.
Yeah, Inferno's the one entirely in the volcano.
Yeah.
This track for me is actually cooler.
Ooh. Bounces into a wall.
And they both die in the same spot.
I believe it does make you heat faster if you're driving on the lava. It doesn't do damage though.
Simply being inside the volcano does not make you overheat faster.
But the lava does.
Yes. Lava actually doesn't just make you overheat faster, it just makes you overheat no matter what, and you just start gaining heat while you're on it.
I see.
If you're boosting, yes, that heat increase does stack with your boost. Oh, I was a little behind you on that one, but
yeah,
I was looking over the stream with chat. Oh man, this is actually relatively close for how long of a track this is.
Yeah, unfortunately I haven't really been able to see how Davey's been doing on a lot of the other these parts.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, if he's doing that...
Yeah, no.
2:05.85 lap 1 with a couple of deaths on it. That's not too bad for the deaths.
Yeah, once again, it's kind of been dying where I wouldn't expect him to. Looks like he's been getting through the hairpins cleanly and then just driving straight into a normal wall.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing with that is everyone practices those tricky hairpin sections.
Yeah, true.
Nobody practices, hey, this is a 50-degree bend. Everyone practices these switchback hairpins. Alright, that was a very clean hairpin segment from Lightning, and a little bit of a wall grab.
Yeah.
Yep. This game has a lot of walls that do that. Almost all of them on bends. Usually on like a softer turn.
Yeah, Lightning Pirate's practice on this course particularly is clear. He's being very clean so far.
Yeah.
I don't think he's even died.
He has died. He died a couple times on
He
lap
died?
1. Yep.
Okay.
Once in the volcano and once toward the end.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember now.
He died right where David just died.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is, like we've been saying, an incredibly difficult course.
Yeah.
And Lightning opting for the shortcut there, it looked like. I was tabbing around, but...
No, he just went through the little gap, corner gap.
Okay. And... hoping I don't jinx things here, but David's connection does seem to have improved somewhat. It's not perfect, but it's working. And
Yeah.
a 155.
New lap record.
Yeah. A lot of these are not going to be real lap records. The game does have some weird issues with saving lap times sometimes. And we're going into the hairpins once again for Lightning. Let's see how he does. Clean through the first. This one's the hard one. Bit of a grind, but he made it through without exploding.
Taking some nice repair time there.
Yep. I mean, that's when you do it. You're already letting
Yep.
up on your throttle.
Yep.
Oh, and David does hit a wall there, too. This might be a forced second death because it's spawning him very close to the ramp. Hard to tell. Okay. According to chat, I was right when Lightning Pirate used that shortcut on the last lap. I was tabbing back and forth, so I didn't really catch it. Yeah, and it looks like the game has just decided to kill David a second time because it can.
Yeah. Yep. That's rough.
And it looks like I did jinx things. This game has a gift for Commentator's Curse.
Yeah.
And yes, there is the shortcut for Lightning Pirate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, looks like he's going to be coming out to pretty commanding wind to this track as well.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he's almost like half a lap ahead.
Yes. $5.59. That's a sub-6 in a race for Lightning Pirate. Alright, and we're going to lose audio for a moment. Just due to hardware limitations, we can't use Davy's audio.
Yeah.
That takes us to a 3 and 3.
Can't see very well, but I'm imagining he's been having some trouble around these.
Yeah.
He was having some earlier. Very excited still frame viewing there. Ooh.
Yeah.
Next slide.
So I'm trying to think of next stuff. Alright, Bullseye has been banned again. So it looks like the pod bans are just pretty much set. Both players have found their strength. So we should be seeing two more bend tracks, one more Bullseye, potentially. Let's see. Lightning was hovering over Gauntlet. Okay, Beto's Wild Ride has been banned again. He really doesn't like those early tracks for this matchup.
Yeah.
I can't say I blame him.
Yeah.
I guess next question is, where do we go from here?
Are there any
Um,
other what opening tracks are still available? I guess
we're down to Vengeance and
Vengeance,
Malistaire 100,
Alistar.
and that hairpin is even harder with upgrades than it is without.
Yeah, and I know I don't think we'll go there because David, I believe, banned that in the first round.
Yeah, I could see a Vengeance. I've been saying that from pick one.
Yeah.
Executioner is banned. I still think Uvu tracks are a good option. Do we get a? Oh no, I think I know what the next. I think I know what Lightning's next pick's gonna be, but I don't know on David's.
Yeah, he has a lot of options you can go for. He hasn't really shown a strong preference for any particular type of map, really, or like a
I mean,
planet.
he's been shying away from the much more turn-intensive tracks.
Yeah.
His strength is in his boost management. Malistaire 100, we were
Oh,
wrong.
yeah. We lied to you, poor viewers.
That is a ballsy pick. I would actually almost recommend Bull's Roar over Ben here. That hairpin is so much easier with lower traction. All right, players are getting the countdown.
Yeah, for people
So,
who haven't played this game in a while, this probably has the hardest hairpin in the game that I've seen so far. I think this is
ah,
actually like my that I've seen so far. It's actually like
yeah,
my second most played track, I think, and I still can't make that turn.
yeah. I believe this is the first Malistaire 100 in the tournament.
I think so. It is from all the matches I've seen.
Yeah, and I know I haven't cast on it yet. So, this hairpin is really tough. Just I don't know what to say beyond that. It's quite possibly the hardest in the game. There's a case to be made for the Bumpy's Breakers hairpin.
Yeah, Bean Dip is saying that to him at least, it's the hardest that you don't break it before.
Yeah. All right, let's see if Davey doesn't hitch up. Let's see how this hairpin goes. Clean.
Bounce is what makes it, yeah.
You kind of have to bounce for Ben. All right, let's see if Lightning can do it. Nope.
Nope. Almost.
Yeah.
It looked like if he started turning like slightly earlier or something, he would have made it.
Yeah. It is.
Never gave him the chance to scrape.
Yeah, it is incredibly difficult to get that right.
Yep, hasn't played enough World of Tanks, doesn't have his deflection angles quite right.
Okay.
Can you tighten it up for round 2, though?
I don't know. David made it through. No, he didn't. That was a late one. And he did
And
make it through for Lightning.
Takes it much more conservatively.
Yes. That was slower than the successful one from David, and David's failure was faster, but that's a rough spot to hit the wall.
Yeah.
That gives Lightning the lead. If he takes the hairpin cleanly, he's got this. If he doesn't, there's a chance for David. Though that was a pretty high heat death for David, so it's not the end of the world. Alright, comes down to this hairpin. And he makes it. That's Lightning taking it on David's counter pick.
David makes it.
Yep. Yeah, it just came down to David had an extra death.
Ooh, yeah. 3-second lead. All right.
Well.
Yeah, so with that one winning on the counter pick, for the first win on the counter pick, Lightning might have just taken the lead, has put himself in a solid advantage.
Yes, that is huge. Let's see where David takes us. And I think I have a bit of a read for where Lightning's taking us. But I have no idea where David's going to take us for this last counter pick.
Zugga is not banned, I believe.
Yeah, Zugga is not banned. That would be a good pick for David.
The bans were Bunta.
Was Bunta Classic banned?
Yeah, it was Bunta and
Bunta Training.
Yeah,
Bunta Training and Mongaza.
Mongaza and I forget.
Abyss and Executioner.
Abyss and Executioner.
Zugga is not banned. Beto's Wild Ride was just temporarily banned.
Yep.
Zugga would be a very good pick for David here. There's nothing super difficult about it, and it's all boost management, which he is a master at.
Yeah, LightningPirate has been doing everything in his power to avoid any of the early courses. He's been consistently banning Beto's Wild Ride as well every time he's been given the situational.
Howler Gorge.
Next best thing.
Oh, that's a rough one. Actually, that is not where I would go. Because those hairpins are where David's been seeing his weaknesses.
Thing is, I still can't tell if it's due to just turning in general or just those tracks in particular.
True. The hairpin segments on Howler are much easier to go through.
Yeah, and it just didn't seem like Davey had really been practicing any of those tracks a ton.
Yeah. Howler is also one of the most popular tracks out there. Just everyone seems to play it, so I could see David being comfortable here. It kind of all comes down to the tent, I think, with the level these two players are at.
And both are playing Ben.
Are you really surprised?
No.
Alright, well, this is break point for LightningPirate. We'll see if Davey has what it takes to force a map 9. They have been given the countdown. We will be getting into this any moment.
You know, I have the music turned off. Does this game only have one track? Or one song?
I think it's got like 2.
That's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. Get on it, modding community.
But I already hear it in daily life, like every once in a while, man.
Get on it, modding community.
Yeah. Me that found out while playing Wipeout that Rage Against the Machine is very good racing music. Take it from me.
Alright, let's see. Lightning very clean through the start. Does not hold that boost.
There is someone trying to remake this in Unity.
Unreal.
Or Unreal? Oh, okay.
Unreal 4.
I have not seen anything beyond that they are trying.
Yeah, they made a playable Ubuntu Classic. Or Ubuntu Training, I think. Alright, let's see how these hairpins go for Lightning. Relatively
Rough.
Clean.
Yeah.
Not super clean, but they were fine. They are dead even coming out of the jump. So this could actually be a pretty significant break point as well. Let's see how they do through
actually,
these.
Looks like David's slightly ahead.
Very slight if he is. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's.
We'll see on lap
showing
times,
them at like the same point, but I think he's like a second ahead in actual game time.
All right, let's see. Very clean tent from Lightning.
Oh, no,
David's not doing his end.
Yeah.
I think David might have died, actually.
Yeah, that makes sense. Kind of surprising. That's one of the easier. He continuously surprises me on where he dies. He gets through
Yeah.
all of the hard parts, and then he dies somewhere random.
Yeah.
That's weird, man. I don't think I've ever died in that part of the track, and I'm not good.
I haven't died there in a while, but it's definitely possible, especially at the speeds we play at. See, clean segment from Lightning. If he dies on tent in a bad way, David can make this up. Because if you take the tent entry too wide and it spawns you ahead of the tent, you lose a ton of time.
Let's see his tent. Makes
Clean. 108.06. And David dies there too.
Ooh, baby.
Barring something catastrophic from Lightning, I think he's got this. Which,
Yeah.
gotta say, is a pretty major upset just from the pedigree of both of these players.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Lightning's
I
also...
don't think there's much room for something catastrophic to go wrong, even.
if he dies on both of the narrow things and then on the rocks at the end...
Yeah, no. That
Nope.
there's, the 0.1% chance that. Use commentator's curse. We're trying, man, but it's not working. He hired, he put his Dreamcatcher up last night.
Oh, man. And that's going to be it. LightningPirate with the 5-3.
Yeah, solid 20-second lead. Haven't been able to see it on there, but it looks like Davey came out with a 351 versus the 332.
Damn. That was a very, very solid play. Some very, very solid play out of Lightning.
Yeah, now he's brought us the goods both matches, the two closest matches so far, I believe.
And we have our winner.
Hello.
That was fantastic, Lightning.
Oh my god, I'm sweating.
Well, you just beat a legend of the game.
Oh my god. And it was well thought. Oh my god.
Yeah. It's interesting. We were watching for a bit and we thought that he had the lead just because every time you picked each time whoever picked the tracks would win, and he just won the first one.
Exactly.
And then you beat him on the Malistar.
That Malistaire 100 win.
I didn't know how that was going to turn out.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, that hairpin is, like we said, one of the hardest, if not the hardest, single turns in the game.
Definitely. Oof.
Yeah. Also,
yeah, he played pretty clean the entire time too.
I was really worried in the beginning because I kept dying on what seemed like nothing, like the same spot, and
yeah, there's a hitch on the ground on Spice Mine in that tunnel that can just kill you.
I hated that.
The way to avoid it is tilt your pod and hug the right wall.
Oh, okay.
Or just don't boost at the bottom of it.
I'll have to remember that.
Yeah, that's a tip for every tournament participant watching. I see many of you in chat.
Just tilt all the time. Never enter.
Yeah, if there's a weird thing on the ground and you don't know how to avoid it, just try tilting. It is so good. And
I think it was the Sebulba's Legacy one. I died 3 for 3 every lap.
Yeah, that's Sebulba's Legacy was quite the thing.
Ugh.
For both players.
And that was a close one, wasn't it? It was
relatively close.
Very close.
Can't remember times exactly.
Yeah, I could scroll up, but that's a lot to scroll through. Also, that ban strategy you had was very solid. Just go in, Ben is off the table.
Yes, definitely. I did do some research on Davey before this.
Yeah, it looks like he researched back or just figured it out pretty quick.
Well, I definitely watched him versus Ace in the first round. And then I found his YouTube channel, which was full of,
really good training times.
And what's that? Mongaza Speedway. It was just full of those runs, so I was like definitely banning them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you were doing everything you could to avoid the first tracks.
Definitely.
Yeah. Did he have really good Betos times, or do you just not know the track?
I was worried about because it seemed like the next simplest track that would have been easy for him to get a win on. So
yeah,
I felt like it was worth avoiding.
Yeah.
Oh,
and we have him.
And we do have David. Oh, we have Robot David. Can you hear us?
Hello?
There we go. Now we have David.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, yeah, good. I've got it. Thank you.
Very well played. Oh. So, I just have one major question, David.
Yeah.
Just how much have you been playing lately? Because
well, not the tracks that Lightning picked. I haven't practiced them whatsoever. take nothing away from Lightning. He played very well. I just haven't practiced them tracks at all.
Well, might want to do that.
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah.
Sorry to put you through that.
No, don't worry.
Yeah,
but I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It was very very nice to race, and I'd just like to thank Ace for all his help. He's getting it up and running brilliant. Compared to last time, it was a lot better. Thank you.
Yeah, Ace has been putting in a lot of work.
Yeah.
For us, just because there are three of us behind the scenes running this tournament. It is me, Ace, and Nacho, and we have. It's basically us and the speed gaming staff trying to run it.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting watching that though, because you'd make it through a lot of the hard sections pretty okay, and then finding ways to die that I'd never seen before.
Yeah, that's me. I'm very unconventional to say the least.
You're blazing new ground.
It's amazing after how long the game's been out that we're still finding new ways to mess it up.
Yeah. All the time, like all these years, I've only really practiced amateur. That's all I've ever done, and I've just fleetingly had goes on the other circuits.
Yeah, the rest of the game is very fun and much more demanding for this kind of thing.
I mean, on that last one, the Howler Gorge, I'm too frightened to go through the shortcut.
It's not that bad once you get used to it, but I can definitely see where you're coming from. I did not want to do it, even without upgrades on Betos to help ride for the longest time.
Yeah, it is. It does take a lot of practice, I would say. But on Malastair, I don't know what happened there. I just.
Yeah, and you had clipped the wall right after the starting line. I've never seen a death there.
And I've never ever done that before. Never ever. I think it's just concentration, really. But
yeah.
I like to say I enjoyed it. And thanks to everybody for doing it. I'm going to get some more practice in, which I think I need to.
Yeah.
You can never have too much.
No, exactly. But Lightning on the tracks he chose, obviously I didn't see, but obviously he's done really well there. He's done brilliant on like Barunda and Fire Mountain Rally. That's the first time I've tried Fire Mountain Rally in about 5 years. It was a long time. I totally forgot what was what. Yeah, it was good though, and good luck to him in his next match as well.
Same to you. Thanks.
Thank you.
And with that, we should probably call it. We are coming up on time. Thank you to David and Lightning for coming out for this. That was a hell of a match to see.
Yeah,
at least I won some races this time. That's the main thing.
Yeah. You'll get them next time. Yeah.
No. I think everybody on here, there's no bad players. I think everybody's great, and they're just really good players, and it's just a great game and a great community. There's no nastiness towards anybody or nobody. It's all good, all done in good fun and everything.
And with that, thank you to chat, thank you to our racers, thank you to Mr. Lick for co-commentating, and thank you to Speed Gaming for hosting this for us.
And we will be back to everybody.
Yes, we will be back with another race tonight on Speed Gaming 4, I believe. But thank you all for coming out, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Later, y'all.